Hello, West Potomac families. My name is Brett Garner, and I'm the newest administrator to the West Potomac administrative team. It is my pleasure to walk through with you our back to school hot topics from the administration. All summer and through the start of the school year, we've been fielding several questions related to the school year, and we thought we'd summarize some of the major topics and questions that we've heard over a presentation for you tonight. So come with me as I walk you along through the presentation. So in today's presentation, we'll be reviewing a couple big topic items such as Schoology, some of the safety measures related to COVID, our new grading scale, a cafeteria overview, a little bit about campus construction, and social emotional learning and wellness support through our advisory period. First and foremost, our safety measures at school during the COVID pandemic. The biggest thing that we want to share with you is that it is most important to stay home when you are sick. If you are going to get a test or you have a family member in the household who is getting tested, it is best to stay home, and that is our greatest strategy to stopping the spread of COVID through our school community. A couple other things just to summarize that we are doing here at school. Obviously, all students and staff are required to wear masks. Staff are required to be vaccinated. The superintendent also just released that students participating in winter and spring sports will need to show a vaccination status on their physical for the upcoming winter and spring seasons. We also have strategically placed disinfectant and sanitizing products around the facility, including each of our teachers' classrooms. And of course, our teachers are going to be encouraging hand washing as frequently as possible. And we've also updated our ventilation systems to meet the new standard of quality inside our building. Our cafeteria, due to renovation, we lost a little bit of space in our cafeteria, so we've added some additional spaces for students to eat. We have several areas outside to include a tent with picnic tables underneath that students are welcome to eat outside. We also have two spaces available in the library, one for students who'd like to eat in the library and another for students who'd like to do work or access the resources in the library. I remind you that breakfast and lunch are free this year for all students, and we do have the ability for students to buy snacks and drinks for an additional cost in the cafeteria during lunch. Schoology. Schoology is our new learning management system that has replaced Blackboard, and we are rolling it out across the division this year to all high schools and middle schools and elementary schools. Parents can actually access using their Parent View account. Their username and passcode are the same for the Schoology Parent View and the SIS Parent View, where you can monitor your students' academic progress. Tons of information it can be found at fcps.edu. If you search Schoology, there's a ton of information. We also wanted to share with you that you can actually toggle back and forth between your parent view and your student view. Student view has a little bit more information than the parent view, but right at the top right-hand corner of your Schoology account, you'll be able to switch to the student view and the parent view. So we hope you'll check it out and team up with us to support your students' school success. One of the big journeys our school community on is grading and how we grade. And this year across the school, we will be shifting away from number grades, traditional number and percentage grades, to the 4.0 scale. Teachers, by courses and by collaborative teams, will be defining what 4s, 3s, 2s, 1s, and 0s look like per their assessment, per their learning activities. So in the grade book, you can expect to see a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1. And with that assignment, there should be an accompanying rubric that would explain what exactly does a 4 mean. And one of the reasons we're doing this is we're trying to move away from arbitrary numbers assigned to grades and have a little bit more of a description of what that student can or what that student needs to improve on in order to achieve the academic desired progress. So feel free to ask your teacher more questions about that, or if you get a chance, look at their rubrics, which will help you interpret the 4.0 scale used for that course. This is a little bit of an overview of the renovation that's currently going on. You'll see in the upper left-hand picture, we are building a connector from the main Quander building to the Springbank building where our performing arts are and some of our arts classes. We are also adding additional classrooms, about 30 classrooms to the back, and another connector from the Quander building to the Gunston building. Here are some of the updates. What has been completed, we've updated the firewall work inside the building. We've also finished the newly constructed bus loop in the front of by the cafeteria in the Quander building and kind of connected to the Springbank building. What's in progress, I just showed you, is the new addition to the back of the building, which is more classrooms. We are also building the connector from the Quander building to the Springbank building, and then we're also extending our cafeteria to increase the capacities for students to be able to eat in there. We are also adding a new kiss and ride loop and parking in the back of the Gunston building, which will help free up some of the traffic in the current years. Our hope and the expectation is that all of this renovation is completed by the end of summer 2022. That said, construction is creating some impacts around our building. Some students might be experiencing some longer walks to classes or having to take some indirect routes. We did provide our students, our staff, and I know Ms. Millard sent out to the community some hallway directions and best practices when traveling from one building to another building. We also have limited parking this year, so if you're planning to come up to campus, we encourage you to be earlier than later because parking is at a premium. We are also, again, adding daily cafeteria tables and picnic tables outside our lunchroom so more students can eat outside when the weather is nice. And of course, always with construction, there are unforeseen circumstances that might come about, and we'll be sure to communicate them as quickly as possible when they do arise. Attendance, we do expect that students are here daily and that they're here on time to class. However, we certainly understand that there'll be times when students are out. If you have any questions about attendance, here is our attendance hotline number. You can also submit your child's excused absences online through the West Potomac High School website. We do want to mention that if you do believe that there's a discrepancy between a student's marked attendance in a class, that is something that we do encourage our parents to contact the teachers for. We will need teacher verification if you believe your student was in class but inadvertently was marked absent. So we are on top of attendance, but we need to partner with you to make sure that our students are here and that they're on time every day for class. And last but not least, this year we will take a further deep dive into social emotional learning and wellness through our advisory period. We have a team of teachers that are developing resources and lessons to help to teach and build strategies for students dealing with social emotional issues. We certainly understand that this last year has been stressful for a lot of people in many different ways, so we are working to address that, and your students will have the opportunity to explore themselves and some of those strategies through the advisory period and via lessons through the social emotional realm. So if you have questions about that, feel free to contact our student services staff or our counseling staff, and all of their information is available on our website. So that's all we have for you today. Hopefully that was just a bird's eye view of some of the major topics that we've been fielding questions about here at West Potomac. We wish you a wonderful school year. I'm really excited to be here at West Potomac, and I hope I get the opportunity to meet each of you at some point during the school year. So I will see you around campus, and I hope you enjoy the new fall weather.